Hey, welcome everybody. We're gonna give it 1 or 2 more minutes and we'll get started. All right. I think we've got a good group of people here, so we're gonna get started. Any stragglers will play catch up here. And want to thank everybody for joining. Today's topic is one of the most exciting topics in AI, which is image generation. So for folks that have attended some of the recent ChatGPT webinars that we've done, there's the ability to create images in ChatGPT using something called DALL-E, all stuff we're going to update you guys on today. But Midjourney is the best image generator in the market, and we're going to have a lot of fun showing you how to generate some images today. So with that, we're going to go ahead and get started with today's webinar. So a quick agenda, we're going to cover what is AI image generation and Midjourney, so everybody kind of understands what we're dealing with. We're going to walk through actually how to get set up on Midjourney. It's definitely a few more steps than you would expect with an online platform, but don't fret. We're going to show you how to do that so you don't have to be scared when you do go sign up. Then we're going to do live prompt sessions. So I've got Midjourney set up here to go through creating our own images together. And then we'll open up for any Q&A that folks have. And feel free as we go through today's webinar to send any questions to panelists, or if you have issues hearing or seeing the presentation, please reach out to the panelists as well. Cool. Again, the goal, just like any of the webinars I do, I hope you leave knowing how to use the tool we're going to talk about today, which is Midjourney. Background, I'm the founder and CEO of Upper Hand, and we currently offer quite a bit of technology and software in the sports space. We recently launched Upper Hand AI, which is part of what we're looking at today. And I'm really excited to be here and walk through AI imaging with you. If you want to learn more about Upper Hand AI, just check out upperhand.ai. All right, so what is Midjourney? In terms of artificial intelligence, so for the folks, again, that have been on a few of these webinars now, you're starting to hit a bunch of the different branches in artificial intelligence. So with ChatGPT, we were in natural language processing and some deep learning. Today, Midjourney is going to really take us down a deep learning path with respect to where it sits in the AI branches. And some of the logarithms that it uses, we'll talk about in a second. Alternatives to Midjourney, DALL-E 2, which is now actually DALL-E 3, which is in ChatGPT as an OpenAI product. And then Stable Diffusion is really a platform that a lot of different image generators use online. So if you have an app on your phone that can change your face, any AI imaging app is most likely built on Stable Diffusion. Midjourney is built on Stable Diffusion, but with some of Midjourney's own sort of hidden secrets that they don't share with anybody for a number of reasons, as you'll see here. So what is Midjourney? Okay, it's this revolutionary technology that's using AI deep learning neural networks to create visual representations off of prompts. So we're going to give it some text, and it's going to generate images for us to use. Now, there are ways to generate images off of images. You can blend images, some advanced stuff, but today we're going to cover really the basic concept of just creating images off of those prompts. With Midjourney, what can you do with it, right? The idea here is to hopefully help you guys learn how to take and create your own amazing photography, something that would have cost tons of time and money to go generate photos for. Maybe you want to generate a new logo or some type of concept for your business today. We're going to show you how to do that and get inspiration. You can even get inspiration for redesigning a website, getting new UI for an app idea that you have, et cetera. So Midjourney is really an excellent place to launch and get creative when it comes to these sorts of things in marketing. We've got a fun poll just to sort of show and see how people might rank and find certain pictures, whether they're real or fake. So if you see a poll, first time we've ever used polls here in Zoom, but you should see 4 questions, and I'm going to go ahead and launch it now. And this is the first question, so we'll flip through the other 3 here in a second, but just answering poll number 1, is this picture of Pope Francis real or fake? All right, we got some good answers. This one made the news for folks that may have paid attention to the real world. Okay, is this portrait real or fake? So you were right about Pope Francis. That was a fake image from Midjourney. All right, you got a real picture too. All right, this image is fake. Believe it or not, this is a fake portrait. Is this uh, real or fake here? Van Gogh painting. This is actually the real Van Gogh painting. But the idea and the point, oh, one more here. Poll four, is this image real or fake? It looks like I don't, yeah, there we go. Some real, some fake. So this one is fake as well. So why did I do that? The idea is that you can make unbelievable masterpieces with every prompt. Some of the images, we have half that say real, half say fake. You can create Van Gogh paintings. I mean, you can use Midjourney to create artwork for your house. It's that versatile and amazing in terms of what it can produce. But the idea is with the right prompts, we're gonna be able to create realistic images that we can use as stock of photography on our websites to bring life to the things we do in marketing for our business. So first things first, let's walk through how to get set up on Midjourney. Okay, so getting set up, there's a couple steps. You have to join something called Discord. So this is kind of where I think Midjourney is a little bit different in how you set up versus something else in the marketplace. So Discord is very much like Slack. We're going to walk you through what it is and why that is. Then you're going to actually join Midjourney's beta. You choose a plan, and I'll walk you through those in a second. And then you start writing prompts actually in Discord. So what does this look like? So you first join Discord at discord.com/register. Again, this is like a chat app, and we're going to actually use this here in a minute. Very straightforward. You submit your information, and then you're going to have to verify your email, et cetera, within there. And then you're going to join the beta for Midjourney on midjourney.com, which you can see here. Once you click join beta, we'll walk through that in a second. You're going to be asked for a plan. So these are the different plans for Midjourney. So you do get a free trial. So I highly would recommend creating your Discord account and Midjourney account. You get a period of time to create images. And then it's a minimum $10 a month or $8 a month if you pay for the full year. And I would say for most people, that's going to be all you need. As you start to use it more and more, we're going to show you what you get with the Pro plan, which is really, you just get more images at a faster clip. So if you're doing a lot of image creation, you'll eventually want to upgrade. But again, the basic plan is really where you're going to want to be. And we'll walk through, again, those settings in the prompt in here in a second. So when you get set up on Midjourney, you're going to start out with Discord. Like I said, I'm going to walk through screenshots so you can see this because, again, I don't want it to be confusing for people. Because once you really do this setup part, the rest is easy. So you're going to set up on Discord, have to verify your email. This is what the email will look like from Discord. Verify it. Then you're going to jump back into Discord when you click that link, and it'll say, all right, you're verified, continue to Discord. This is what Discord looks like once you go there, okay, and you're logged in. It's just going to look like a chat app with nothing going on because you haven't joined any rooms yet. Once you're here, you then just go to Midjourney, and you're going to click the Join Beta down here in the bottom left. Once you click that, it's going to know to open up Discord and ask for you to accept an invite to the Midjourney sort of chat or channel within Discord. Once you accept that, you're then going to be entered into the world of Midjourney, which will look like this. So you've got this getting started. You'll have to accept their terms of service in here, which we'll talk about in a second, but ultimately to say you're going to abide by the community rules. And you're going to see a bunch of these different sort of rooms, and we'll walk through those here in a second when I open up Discord. Then you're done. Then we're ready to really use Midjourney. So this is what we're going to dive into. So how to use Midjourney. Quick disclaimer, because we're going to jump into some prompts. There are people that try to use Midjourney for good things, bad things, but as we look at the community when we create images, there may be some things that again, I can't regulate what everybody else is creating in there. So we may see some things that are offensive to some people, but at the end of the day, it should be fine. So, but we can't use the word bum with any of our prompts, so we won't use that today. All right, so I wanted to show you a prompt I created yesterday, sort of getting ready for today's webinar. And the prompt was Tiger Woods, Masters, grunge 90s artwork inspired by a specific artist. And this was the only prompt I used. And we're going to show you how you can take one prompt and start to refine images over time with continued refinement tools in Midjourney. But this was the image that it created. This is the output you see on the right-hand side for an image once you create your prompt. And then you'll have all these options down here below, which we're gonna show you how to use as well. Okay. You'll also have different sort of models you can choose from. I'm going to show this, so we're going to jump out of the presentation. And I've got Midjourney pulled up. So let me close some windows here so I can see. And then we'll walk through a bunch of settings here in a second, but let's jump into Midjourney. So when you get to Midjourney, again, this is what you're going to see, right, in the getting started part. You can pick any room to create an image. So you just got to pick a place, to prompt your images. Now, when you're on a paid plan, so when you go to the plan that I think's $45.60 a month, you can actually create images in a bot, so in a private chat room, which we're going to do here in a second, and I'll explain why. But let's just jump into one of these rooms. You can also do image and any of these here too. Prompt chats where you could go to ask questions or get some prompt ideas. It may take a second for some of these to load. Let me jump down to the bottom here. So what is this that we're looking at? This is a place where everybody who's on Midjourney, and it doesn't have a paid account to submit a prompt in a private chat. It's this community. So you're just seeing people prompting all around the world. And it's actually amazing when you use it. I mean, you just see prompt after prompt after prompt, which is helpful. So one tip I always give people, because it's one I use when I first started using Midjourney, is when you see one pop through that you like, grab the prompt, right? So you could just scroll up, copy this prompt, and again, we're going to learn how to do this here in a second. And you can save it, right? Save it in notes, save it in a Word doc, etc. But then you can use those. So this is just people create image to direct messages. And I've set up a Midjourney bot. So if you pay for an account, this automatically will show up. And then this is basically a private room. So it's just us and this bot. So nobody else can see our images that we're working with, which is helpful because then we don't have all the clutter of people adding their prompts as they go. Okay. So how does a prompt work? We're going to take this prompt right here. We'll explain the structure in a minute, but let's just start creating for fun. So you're going to do backslash or forward slash rather, imagine. Okay. And then it's going to put this prompt in there, and this is where you put in your prompt. So in this case, we'll redo this Tiger Woods one just to show you how it works. We're going to hit enter. Now what happens is, you can see it's waiting to start. Give it a second. It's pretty fast because there you go. So you'll start to see the percentage that the image is being generated. Here you go. A little bit happening. And we can do it again. So you can have multiple images running at the same time. Let it run. A lot of people on Midjourney. All right, 93. This one's almost done. Cool. So we've got an image here. And what Midjourney will do, unless we prompt it differently, is it'll always give you 4 images. Again, unless you submit, you want 2 or 1, and we can show that here in a bit. But so we have 4 amazing images. So what do we do with these? Like, all right, I like image in the top left here, and maybe not some of the other ones. So what your options are, what these mean. So U1, the top row is your U, which is an upscale. So something we'll talk about with upscaling is it then takes that image, and we'll go ahead and press it so it starts generating. You'll see a new message. We're upscaling this image. And what upscaling does, it's already done, is it creates a high resolution version of that image for you. So if we click that, now we have this high resolution image just generated off of one click. Okay. And it looks like the golf club's kind of in a weird spot, and we'll talk about how to fix that. You can open it in the browser, which would take us to Midjourney, where we sort of store our collections with that. Now, let's say we want to vary this, or you can even upscale it even more to get greater resolution with this image. A couple things you can do. You can vary it in two ways, like a variation of this image in a very strong way. So it's going to have a lot more variation. So let's go ahead and click it. Or you could do subtle. So let's do that and compare. The other thing you can do after you've generated an upscaled image is you can vary the region of that image. So what happens when you do that is it opens up the image. And maybe there's an area that we don't particularly like. So you could select it this way. Maybe we'll just select the whole thing and submit. And now it's going to generate a new version of that image where it's going to change where the hand and the club are. So let's see what it does there. And some of our variations are starting to come across. So there you go. Look at that. Sort of took, it's not done yet. It's only at 15%, but it's already, you can tell it's taking the golf club out, which is interesting. All right, and here's some of the other variations we had. These are pretty good. Hands and fingers are looking good. So something Midjourney does struggle with at times is fingers, hands, and we'll see some when we go through these prompts, but where body parts are all over the place, and I'll show you how to fix that or generate images. Okay. So going back up here, so we've walked through what the U stands for. What does the V stand for? V stands for variation. So in that one set that we liked, image one, okay, we're looking at it, we say, I really like this, but I'd like some more versions of this style of image, right? So all we do there is then you click V1, and it's going to create 4 new variations of this image. Now, why is that important? Well, it's important because we don't like the way the hand was generated. And so one way that Midjourney works and neural networks, the way they work, is it will then process this image and try to fix things because it's learning from itself off of that image. So one way to keep improving an image is to continue to do variations of that image until you get a version that you like. So let's see what version pops out down here from that. So I think that's the one we're looking at. If you ever want to know which version you sort of clicked, create a variation, it links to the original image. So we know here that it was image 1 that we created a variation from, but if you don't remember what image it was, click that, it'll pop up. It's actually linked to this one here, that particular image. So let's keep looking. All right, so this is the one I think that we did, the variations, that's what just showed up. So let's take a look. So it's like that first version. Wait till that loads here. So again, we've got a few images. Some are good, some are okay. Like the golf club's kind of messed up there, so we want to keep that one. This one's pretty close. So how do you fix that if it's closer to this one? So now we're going to create a variation of this one. And let's create a variation of this one too. So let's do the order of pictures goes 1, 2, 3, 4. So we're going to do a variation of the second image, and we'll do a variation of the fourth image. If you like the entire collection and you think they're all kind of getting close, you can do a variation of all 4 by clicking the sort of repeat, sort of circle there. And now it's going to start generating 3 more. So you can kind of see how quickly this is generating images for us, which is pretty cool. So we'll let these 3 load, and then we'll pause, and I'll jump back into some of the ways we can edit images and adjust our prompts. Let's also see how this looks. This one's not, no, actually might be a little better. If we could get rid of the golf ball. So we could do a variation of this where we edit the region, maybe try to get rid of that golf ball. Be cool. Maybe we'll do that real quick. Do U1. We'll upscale it, and then we'll vary the region to try to get rid of that golf ball. See if there's any here we like. That one's pretty nice. I'm going to keep that for myself. All right, so we got these other ones down here. Now let's vary this one by region. All right, we want to fix that golf ball, so let's just cover it up. If you don't like the square tool, they also have a lasso tool. I'm not very good with the lasso tool, so I'm using the square. It's like more of the image to replace. Okay. let's just do, let's do this here. You also convert back, which is kind of nice if you kind of mess it up. There we go. Just do that whole area then. All right, well, this one here, the one we did like, awesome. You can save these images, of course, right, to your desktop. You own the image, right? So one of the big things that when it comes to AI images is it's someone else's image. Now, you'd have to be careful using something that has Nike on it. But every image that AI creates is different. So it's impossible, literally impossible, to recreate this image. You could get really close if you got advanced and pulled the seed number of the image that was being generated, but it's royalty free. So it's imaging that you can use for your own purposes. Here's another one that's still loading, but remember we got rid of the golf ball, which looks like we're getting going to be close to an awesome picture. So let's see what that looks like. You might be wondering, we'll cover this, but these arrows. So what do the arrows do? And then the zoom stuff. So let's say in this image, I really like, man, they're all also similar. It's hard to tell, but let's go with zoom in your fingers. I like this one. Let's go 3. So we're going to upscale it, and then we'll show how with this one, how do the arrows work? So let's say we want to zoom out, like or zoom in. You could change your zoom level for the image. It'll generate a new image, but we're going to zoom out 2x. It's going to generate new images that zooms that out. Let's say it generated an image that had tiger off to the side and it wasn't sort of in the middle. You can use arrows to change how the picture is centered. You could also add to the image. So let's say we want to add some space to the right-hand side. So let's do that. So then we get more of a landscape part of the image. So this is cool. So now we're zooming out on that one picture and we're about to get them walking. Looks like they put, maybe that's a putter. So really, really cool. Here's an example. Looks like it's put him out of the frame, but you sort of get the idea on that, right? Cool. So I'm gonna pause here. Let me check questions, see if there's any quick questions. I know there's a lot happening here right now. Some Cal diving wants to be a guinea pig. We'll show some examples of that in a second. If you already have a Discord account, then you're good. So somebody's asked if you have a Discord account. You can actually then just go straight to Midjourney, sign up for the live beta, and then you'll be good. Yes, can you create your own room in Discord? You absolutely can. So they would call that a third-party server, which would basically just be you create your own server. Servers are mostly free, depending on what functionality you want with Discord. That's a great question. So if you're a business that has maybe multiple locations, you got multiple people in a marketing department, et cetera, you can create a server and then add your Midjourney to that, and it would allow you to have your own room like this where you're all operating inside that room. So some good questions. Can you use your own images? You can. So one way to get to some settings. So if you ever want to know, hey, what options do I have? Okay, settings will take you to what's called the different models to choose from. So this is important to know. So right now we're using the latest model, which is Midjourney 5.2. There'd probably be rare reasons you'd want to switch to an older version. But then there's a version, you'll see that's NIGI, model version 5. This is a model if you wanted to create sort of anime cartoons. And I'll show you what that looks like. I'll just do that real quick to show you the difference. I don't use it as much, but it can do some really cool things depending on what you're wanting to achieve. So while that runs, we'll keep walking through this. There's different settings for the different models. So you'll see how all these options change with the NIGI model here, where you can change sort of the types of styles that come out, whether you're in public or private mode, etc. So it looks like it's generating some of those. But we're on 5.2. Stylizing is simply how much style do you want the model to try to put into the image, which we're going to walk through that in the slide deck a little bit. So I'll jump back to that once this image is done so you can sort of see it. But man, these are sweet. Make that some office artwork here. All right, so you can kind of see it's more of a more cartoonish, which is what that model is built for. Still some pretty good, that's actually a pretty cool image there, but you sort of get the idea. That one's loading up there. Somebody asked, is the rate of speed for rendering based on your subscription? Yes, that is actually true. Um, you can get faster with different plans. All right, so I'm gonna just jump back quickly to the deck so we can keep getting to advanced prompts, and we'll keep building our own prompts together. So how do prompts work? So similar to ChatGPT, it's going to be all about imaging, right? So if you have photography experience, if you know a photographer, all that can be very, very helpful because it's basically what you're prompting, right? So what's the difference between simple prompts and detailed prompts? So in this example on the left, this is what a simple prompt would be, just like we did with a very simple Tiger Woods prompt. We didn't put any sort of details on the back end of it. This is sort of showing on the right-hand side if you get detailed. So you can actually say you want it to be blurred in the back. How much focus do you want to have? And I'm going to show you what those prompts are. But you can get extremely detailed to improve the quality of your prompts. Here's another example, and I'll just zoom in here so you guys can see of what it looks like to create a landscape. In this case, these aren't realistic, right? Because it's just using a simple prompt for that. And maybe you like it. Maybe that's something you're trying to create. But when you get detailed on your prompt, I mean, this looks real. I mean, if somebody sent this and said, "Hey, I just did this, climb this mountain," I'd be like, "Cool, looks real to me." So, but you'll notice, the prompt here, a photorealistic image of a snowy mountain range at sunrise with a clear blue sky. Okay, very realistic in nature. Here's another example where the prompt is a tulip garden versus a detailed prompt where you're saying a tulip garden and you're selecting the style, you're selecting the size of the image, which we're going to show those prompts as well. Okay, so clearly the ones on the right, very realistic. Ones on the left, again, more cartoonish. So there's a lot of different descriptors. And it was fun doing this research because that you can use. Good to have a cheat sheet next to you when you're creating them, creating different prompts. But some of these might be, photorealistic. That's one I use a lot. You might see realistic. That's a great one to use. So there's all these different types of photography you could try to use in setting up your scene. This is the one that I created here off of this prompt. So wildlife photography of a Royal Bengal tiger walking in the sub-Darwin's forest, and it's generated by Midjourney. So it looks very real, pretty awesome shot there. Time and weather. So we can adjust what image we're given by putting the time or weather into the prompt. So maybe you want to show, a camp at the golden hour, when parents are coming to pick up, run a football camp, golden hour when it's sunny, etc. So you can change the weather of your prompts. Mood or atmosphere. So this would be important if you want your particular the person you're trying to depict in there, or the atmosphere in general, right? Obviously, energetic would be a great one for a camp if we're trying to generate really cool images for something like that. Maybe awe-inspiring if you're going to create an image of image of a former athlete, etc. Camera selection. This is I'm not a photographer, so I don't know as much about different types of cameras. I've got a feeling that these would all be pretty good cameras, though, but they're all going to generate slightly different types of images, and putting camera into your prompt can have a huge impact in a good way on the output and quality of your images. So I would definitely recommend playing around with some of these different prompts and different camera types with your images. And then you can also include different types of creative. So maybe you want like a night vision camera, etc. Those are really, really helpful. You can actually then select different types of lenses. Maybe you want to put a filter on it, etc. You can do that. Aperture settings. This is going to have to do with how focused something is. So you can see on the left, setting the aperture at 2.8 versus 8. How much more clear. We have this animal bird here, the toucan right here versus the left. It's going to be more blurred in the back, right? So think of if you have an iPhone, the cinematic portrait type photos that you can do. Here's your shutter speeds. So you actually prompt to do different shutter speeds. On the left is 1/1000. On the right is 1. Big difference, right? Really cool. And then here's just kind of a great chart to use for your different options for noise, sharpness, and depth of field. And then there's some advanced camera settings, some of the stuff, just all in one little prompt. And again, we'll send some nice prompt packets to everybody after this via email. But a ton you can do. There's really no limitation. Lighting's a huge thing. It's actually a lot of fun to play around with the different types of lighting, which we can do here in a second. As an example, here's 3 different types of lighting for the same prompt, and it gives you very different feel. And then perspective. So this is going to be where's the object you're taking, a picture of. Is it a low angle, high angle, eye level, rule of space, etc. So again, getting very photographic in terms of terminology here. Here's an example of what that looks like. Low angle perspective where you're kind of down, pretty close, but not quite eye level, versus a little bit up and versus an actual high angle. And then there's this great guide on showing, okay, where should the level be? And then from on the right-hand side, where's that image, sort of come up to? So you can do prompt an extremely close picture would be, just showing somebody's eyes, all the way to a full shot image where you could take it from the ground level or eye level, etc. And then there's image sizing, so that you can create different images. They don't all have to be squares. So we'll mess around with some of these here, some of the different options that we have. All right, so we're not going to get into Q&A. I'll kind of answer as we go, but let's sign me in here. Okay, so let's create a few prompts to show you guys how this works a little bit differently. So let's start off with just a simple prompt. Let's do image. Oh, sometimes that'll happen. So this is if you want to drop your own images in and then blend. I actually did blend. We're not going to do that today just because it gets a little advanced. We don't have so much time. So again, /imagine. And we're going to do one. Let's do a portrait of Odell Beckham Jr. as a junior, one-handed catch versus the Dallas Cowboys. All right, let's just start with, we'll start simple, and then I'm going to continue to get more detailed so we can compare. All right, so while that's loading, let's take this prompt and copy it. So again, imagine, copy paste the prompt, and then let's add to it background showing a crowded stadium on a warm, sunny September. Highly detailed, intricate details. And we're going to add a couple things. We're going to add AR is for the image size. So we'll go 16 by 9, and let's go style raw. All right, so it's going to create that one. So let's look at this. All right, so here's a simple one. Now, you're getting lots of different options, right? So maybe there's one in here you like. Again, you would go back here and say, I want to either keep it with the U, so that's going to upscale. V is the variations of an image you like, that particular image, or you can do this little sort of circle with arrows, which is going to basically repeat that prompt and create 4 new images, okay? But you'll notice the reason we get variety is because the prompt's not very detailed, right? It's very basic and simple, which is fine. That's all you need to get started. But you're going to notice here, it starts to get a little bit more specific because we've put a little bit in there. You'll notice again, sometimes with the body, Midjourney does that. It's one of the hardest things to create. It's gotten a lot better actually over the past year, but some of these are already pretty good. I mean, catching the ball here, this looks pretty real. It's not going to have his jersey number. Midjourney does a good job of making sure they don't do some of that, but very cool image, right? So what would happen if we then, let's grab a camera and say, take the same prompt. Let's add a camera to it because I said it was important to do camera. So imagine, copy that camera, and we're going to add it down here and just say, let's do a Sony A1 high-speed photography camera. Let's see how that changes it. Okay. While that's generating, I'm gonna look at questions here. Could you take the Nike logo off his chest? Yes. So how I would do that is we would, um, let's see which one has a logo. Yeah, so let's just upscale one of these to show you how to do that. Let's just upscale. Let's upscale this one. Let's take off. What is that? Image one. There we go. You might have been asking actually about Tiger, but so let's show you how to do that. You might also be asking, well, what if you really like an image and then maybe there's some tiny part about it you don't like? For anybody that works with graphic design people, marketing people, this is awesome to then give them that image and then you just open up Photoshop and make a couple of changes. Um, but there was somebody that asked, all right, well, what if I want to get rid of that logo? Which is a great question. So we've upscaled it. I don't know why it's not giving us the option to edit it there, but we'll just use go back and get a different one. It might be because we've already created an image off of another image. So let's just try one of these here. That one doesn't actually have his logo, I don't think. But let's try his hat. Let's just show you. So I would do this. I would scale and then I'd go into variant a region. And again, I'd probably just take his hat. And it's probably gonna make us go a little bit bigger. So let's do a better version of that. See what it comes up with. This will actually be interesting. Or I give him hair or something. But going back to the original prompt, so we added the camera. So what does that do to the image, right? All right, now we're starting to look like the resolution's getting much higher. We've got some issues with body parts. So what I do when that happens is I just repeat the prompt. And that sort of tells Midjourney, all right, we don't really like it. We're going to try it again. That's a good thing to do. The other thing I would add to this prompt if I saw that, because I thought they still looked a little fake, is I would add another term that comes from one of our slides in terms of scene, one of the scene descriptors. So I would say a photorealistic portrait of Odell Beckham. Let's try that one. Let's see what kind of, in this case, it actually changed logos just on the hat. Good news is none of those logos are the actual logo, so you couldn't get in trouble with anybody because it changes the logo on those. Here's one that portrait where we just did a redo of all of the prompt. So this one down here in the bottom right starts to look pretty good. So let's up that one to show you how you can make it even better. So let's do variations of image 4 because it's not quite there yet in terms of where the hands and the ball are, but it's getting closer. So it'll create 4 images off of that, and it'll keep improving the image as we create it. And here's one that's photorealistic. Can't say I'm a huge fan. This one on the left looks pretty cool. Doesn't look very realistic, but all right. So as you guys get the idea, this is a prompt. Let's try another one. Let's try to create a, let's see here. Let's create a winning team. Let's maybe want to get some photography for our website, right? So let's do photograph professional soccer team partying after an important win in a luxurious locker room. Want it to be a cinematic shot. And we're at C2, which is craziness. Believe it or not, you can actually add a little craziness to it. And then there's our image size. Hit enter. And let's do another one while it's going. Let's do outdoor athlete photo from Nike. Let's just see what it creates. All right, we got these loading here. Let's take this one. Let's say, I like this one's actually pretty cool. loading here. Um, that one's actually pretty close. So some of them are good. Now, when you have groups of people, I would definitely zoom in, make sure people have, 5 fingers and all the limbs, etc. Sometimes you do need to regenerate the image multiple times. So again, what I mean by that is you're just taking a variation of the image you like, continue to generate it, keep picking the one that's closest to real, regenerate it, and you will get closer and closer. Let's actually do one like that, except let's look at it from like a youth camp set perspective. Photography of let's say a U14 soccer team celebrating after an important win on a sunny day at the golden hour. We'll do background um, rural soccer field. Cinematic shot. Let's see what that does. Here's the Nike one. Some of these are automatically realistic. Like this one here is awesome. So you could actually then let's actually see what it would do with the region if we go U1. Does it pretty fast. So then you could try to vary the region there. But let's try some of these we haven't tried yet, where we vary just do two different options. Let's do a variation that's subtle of this image versus a variation that's strong. Can I give you an idea? Okay, so here's the youth soccer one. I mean, how amazing is this? I mean, so if you run camps, you need photography for your website. Maybe your website really struggles with getting some good stock photography. Here we go. Like all of these are pretty good. They all need to be regenerated a little bit. This one probably not as much. Well, actually, this one's looking pretty good too. But man, awesome photos. And again, we're still using pretty basic, prompt in that one. So if you're really wanting for a particular look and feel for your website, we just need to adjust those prompts, right? That's all we have to do. So here's a subtle variation of that one image. So it fixed the logo. So that's a good example of when you run a variation of an image you like. Again, it's going to try to use the neural network to make the image better for you. So it's sort of fixed the logo. It's on one side, which is great. Here's what it looks like if it's stronger. It's going to keep the figure in the middle, but it sort of changed the landscape in the background. You got different types of jackets on her, etc. But again, some great images like that. That's pretty real photography. So we could keep that one. So let's hit U4. Okay, and then let's see what this one did. All right, so now we got 4 more options from this one. So again, you got a little bit of zoom in. You can open it up in your browser to show you what that looks like. So now if you need to zoom in on something, here you can kind of look a little closer. Pretty crazy. So awesome photos here. All right, let's go back. Sweet. All right, let's do some more. I want to show a couple other concepts for folks that might be interested in more than just photos. So let's look at UI ideas, okay? So let's go to Imagine. And we're just going to type in something super simple like a sleek and professional quarterback camp website landing page, high quality. Charts that won't really make sense, but we'll keep it for fun, see what it does. Cool, soft color palette. I want geometry and want a wide angle. And we'll make the image a 4x3. See what that does. After this, we'll do a logo. Show you how to do some logos. Let's also do another UI one. Imagine a modern. Let's do. Let's see, swimming or Olympic swimming. Training website. Professional UI design, award winning. Again, that's a kind of like a photography piece. Let's do Figma, which is a tool you can use to design websites. I'll just hit enter, see what that comes up with. So now one thing that, so I guess if you're going to compare, when would you use Dolly in ChatGPT to create an image versus when would you use Midjourney? I would always use Midjourney for creating photos. And if you're wanting to get inspiration for landing pages, I would use Dolly 3 in ChatGPT when you're wanting to create maybe a smaller image that has text. So Dolly 3 is starting to be able to put real words and text into images, although it's not perfect. I suspect that day is coming for Midjourney soon, but just as some different use cases to keep in mind. Okay, so here's what the landing page looked like. Let's pull it up here. And again, the prompt was not great, but it does give you an idea of layouts that you can create. So how would you use this? Well, if you work with a web developer, whether you have a WordPress person in-house or not, this gives you your layout, right? This is the UX we can use, and then we could use Midjourney to create the images. So, all right, we know we like this layout. So now let's create some football players to put in our, on our website for this page. And then we'll swap out our text, right? We can create background images solely for putting it behind websites. This is another good layout. Sort of shows, all right, this is our hero image. Call to action goes here. Maybe this is going to be our products and services here. So it cuts down the time on like the creative block that you may have as a designer or just wanting to get inspiration. Here's a really cool one for swimming, right? So some cool concepts that we could look at. And again, that prompt was very simple. It was not very good at all on the Olympic swimming one, right? So we do a lot of really cool stuff. Any questions on these here, the UI stuff? Okay, now I'll show a logo here. All right, let's do a logo. Let's go to Imagine again. And let's do an esports. Actually, we'll just do an SVG vector image of, say, California diving academy. I'm making up my own name here. White background. So I would always do a white background when you do logos, and you'll see why. It makes it easier to copy and paste them out of there. Logo, right? Again, very simple. You can do really cool things with your prompts. And again, if you're ever like stuck on what's a good prompt, don't forget we can go back into here, right? We can go back into the main chat and you can look at what prompts people have. Like here's somebody's designing, some type of marketing piece. You can search for something. So let's say you want a prompt for a logo. So here are all the prompts that have the word logo in it. Okay. So this is really helpful because now we can find something we really like and then take it ourselves, which we'll do real quick. There's a cool landing page. So this would be a cool prompt. So you could take that, swap out, what type of business it is, put in yours, and then put in what type of business, what colors, right? Let's just do a sports logo. Let's see what that does. All right, some cool ones. Well, actually, that's a cool prompt there. Let's try a startup logo. Sometimes those are really the best. Yeah, like that stuff's, those are good. So again, idea being if you're lost or stuck on a prompt, this is a cool way to go get some other prompts, right? So let's go back to our option. All right. So again, for some reason it thinks, well, I did say diving in this one, which is not what it is, but you would just change the prompt, right? So for Eric, who asked about his site, he's put in, some details that will make it come up with what you want it to be, right? So let's try another business. Let's come up with let's do like Elite 11. Try a quarterback academy. That'll be fun. And again, we're not really given a lot of direction, right? So we could say like Nike or like Apple, et cetera, to get some cool ideas. We'll do one more logo up. Imagine. Let's try a esports neon logo. I like Lewis Hamilton, so we're making a little Lewis Hamilton logo. Sunglasses, flat illustration, synthwave palette, dark plain background. Let's see what happens. I don't like any of those. We'll go again. One of my favorite ways to do logos is let's try new logo of a quarterback, academy, and style of startup, modern, flat, stickered logo. Try that. Really cool stuff. Will Midjourney create a video? Great question. You actually can create a video. You can. I think the prompt is video, or it's at the end of it. So you can create a video of your logo being created, I believe. So, or your image. So let's take let's try this one. There actually is AI companies like a Midjourney that only does video, but we won't get into that today. I believe you can add video at the end of it. So some of these logos again, if you get a result that isn't good, change the prompt because it definitely needs more detail on that one. Cool. I've actually never done the video once, so thanks for asking. And then I'll do one more where we can show like maybe you need an image for your facility. Let's say a swimming indoor swimming pool. We'll say Olympic swimming pool. Detailed. And we'll do AR is 2, 3. Let's try that. I don't know how the video part worked there. So Eric, I can follow up on that one, or we can include some messaging, but there is a way to do it, actually. Maybe when you upscale it, that's when it'll do. Let's try. All right, so this other prompt is a good prompt. Again, sort of helping folks who may want to add some images or background images to their current sports facility, sports business website. Sometimes it's hard to get really good pictures of your facility. So here you could create some images. At least of the different resources you use, they make good backgrounds for different parts of your website. I don't really like 2, 3. I maybe should have gone wider, but gives you an example of great wallpapers of backgrounds you could use on your website to again sort of hit the theme and what you're going for on that. So would really recommend taking a look at some of those. So that image here, I'm not sure how the video one works, but there you have it. All right, so we'll pause here. Any questions? Other questions folks have? What can
We
you
have a couple
request?
questions on the logos.
Oh, go ahead.
Can you have a transparent background for those? And then also, are you able to upload your own logo or photo and then ask it to enhance or edit that?
Yeah, good question. So I'm pause my sharing. I'm gonna grab an image to show you how something like that would work. And let's just take these here. An image I pulled for you guys. Share. All right, so there is a describe command. So let's click that. Great. It's gonna be add the image. I think I'm already in there. So let's just add that for you. All right, so we've added the image. I'll go ahead and get, oh, sorry. So the question was, can you use an existing photo to either edit it or kind of get versions of that, which is a good question. So when you use the describe function and put an image in there, it's going to give you, it's going to describe the image that you could then use in a prompt. So let's just kind of see what this looks like. So maybe this is an image I really, really like, and I want to create my own. So it gives you 4 different prompts. So out of curiosity, let's just take these and again, the best thing you can do is experiment. Oh, and it actually tells you, and it sort of gives you, so you don't have to copy and paste them. So you could just imagine them all. Let's just do 2, submit, 3. Now I'm going to do 4 now. So that's a great question. So if there is an image you like out there, grab it. Again, you're going to use the describe feature and it writes a prompt based on that image, okay? Some other things you can do, if you ever need help, the ask is helpful. So you can ask Midjourney a question. How do I blend images? And I'll send you a link on how to do that, okay? Um, there is help if you need help with like a command. So this tells you everything about how to use it, gives you quick links. So if you forget something today, you quickly access all the command list for Midjourney, which is very detailed and helpful. So here you'll see all the different commands you can use. Extra options to parameters you can add as well. This is actually helpful deleting an image. So maybe there's because the room starts to get pretty crowded. So if there's something you don't like I don't know, maybe these logos, like this is pretty bad. So you just right click it, add a reaction, and you'd add the X on here. I'd have to go find it, view more, and X. There we go. And this that removes the image from whether you're in the community or your messaging chat. But of this image, it gave us 4 different prompts. So what we would do then is, all right, which one do we like the most? And then obviously we'd save that. We reuse that prompt. Okay. So kind of interesting. This one's probably the closest, or this one. But that would be one way to get use what you currently have or something you like to get another option. It does not like or no diving. How can I teach it? So for that, well, let's try it real quick. Let's go to caldiving.org, right? I think. Let's just try it. All right, so let's just take need like a good image in here. Classes and teams. Let's just see what it comes up with. All right. Let's copy it. Save this image into our folder, and let's just ask it what it thinks. Have it describe that image for us. Now, if you get it, the more high resolution that image is, the better. So let's see what it says. So that's what I would do. Eric, on that question is how do you teach it, on that. And frankly, my prompt wasn't very good. So I guess as it knows it, and I'm just not doing a very good job. But here, yeah, you're getting some really good prompts. Let's do all those. Oh, oops, and let's imagine them all. So the repeat will give you 4 more prompts. Maybe you want to try, other prompts. That's pretty cool. I've never used that before. So let's see if we start to get a little closer. Got a lot happening. Let's make it happen for Eric here. It does go pretty fast. Yeah, some of these are looking better. And then I would probably take a prompt that gets a little closer. Those don't work. So some of these get a little close. Actually, this prompt's not terrible. So I would take this one where you're starting to get a little closer, and then I would change the prompt to start to test other things. So like this fourth image is pretty good, and then I would regenerate that, which we could do right here, which put V3. Then I would take this prompt and then I would start adding to it or changing it a little bit. So I'd say, all right, photorealistic added to it. I'd go look at the different types of camera lenses, time of day, things like that, to try to mess with different parameters that would help you get closer and closer to what you're looking for. But it's definitely a little bit closer. Obviously, you can't be doing those goggles, but you kind of get the idea on that one. And these kind of get a little closer on some of them. But again, I would get more images of swimming that are high resolution that are bigger too. Put them in here because they can definitely do it. There's no question. And we could even look in here and see if anybody's done anything like uh, Olympic swim. Let's see if anything comes up. Yeah, pools, very common. Oh, there you go. There's a prompt. That one gets a little closer. So you kind of get the idea. That's where the search really can help to try to get something you're maybe looking for really specifically, right? So I'll go back here, check any other questions. Oh, that one's actually pretty good. Getting a little closer. Again, if you use photorealistic, change the camera, you'll get more realistic photos off of those, but otherwise I think it's pretty good. And can you request a transparent background for logo? You can. It has to be white, not transparent, but all you would have to do then is go in and use a Photoshop, or there's tons of tools online you can use to actually submit a logo to have it vectorized. But all right, cool. Well, I think we're getting close to the end of the time. Am I on the fast subscription? I am on yeah, for the plan. Let me just show you real quick. I don't know why it signed me out while we were on there. That's not cool. Show you real quick. So we are plan we were on is right here. So I was using the pro plan. The only thing that you really get, like I think standard would be good. I paid for the pro so we could be in a private chat just because there's so many images coming through. But I can tell you right now, like you don't need to do that just from a cost perspective. Working out of the main room is totally fine. You're just gonna have to deal with this people. I mean, look how many images have been created since we've been on this I mean over 400 prompts since 158. So not even a half hour is how many people are in here. So you end up having to kind of find your prompts. That part gets a little bit frustrating, which is why I did that for the demo, just to make sure we're in a private room. But I think being here is great when you're starting out because there's so many ideas. Like you will see a prompt, you're like, all right, I love that. And I'm going to swap out my keywords for my business in this to make it really, really cool. So can you show different things you can do to your own image? We have individual photos of volleyball athletes we would be using. Yeah, so for that, I would use the describe um, command. So again, what that one looks like is here, and then I would upload the image to get prompts for it. You could also take, you can use a blend function here, and you'll see you can actually add up to four images, I guess six, but you could drop, let's say there's four volleyball images of athletes you like. You could drop them all in there, hit enter, and then it would blend those images together to try to create additional images that are very similar, like the images you have. Okay. There are some tools out there where you can edit an existing photo, but with Midjourney, you cannot do that today. Can you take a photo of the diver you use and simplify or enhance the background? Not, you cannot do that. Cannot do that. You're welcome. Awesome. All right, I'm going to stop sharing here. I want to thank everybody again for hopping on. You guys are in the future, so welcome. And recommend getting started. If you have any concerns, need help holding hands, going through it, reach out to us. We're here to help. Thank you.